I'm going to talk about involution and evolution, the concept of beings. Everything is of the source. Everything is whole. Everything has the opportunity to know everything, to be part of everything. Everything is of everything. Every being is the source. It's the personality, the layers on top of that being, the identity that the individual or the being holds of itself. Interacts with its own wishes and wants, and So at one end there's oneness, and at the other end there's personality. I'm working to describe involution and evolution for you. Theosophy, the whole philosophy in Theosophy talks about something coming out of the source into matter, and they talk about that as involution, leaving the source and becoming more of like matter or solid, and that can pass. Maybe the finality of that is to become a rock, or the most solid, or the most unchanging thing. See, if you consider the oneness as very active, changing and in connection with everything, then the more solid, or the less movement in something would be the other extreme of the movement that you would see in the one. So personality is more toward the slower end of the spectrum, with more of a fixed form and a stability, and the beings on that pathway from the source to the form are on an involution, or they're going more toward personality. So they're going more toward the ability to be disconnected. Hey, looks like someone's out there. Hello. Good evening. I'm just describing involution and evolution. Okay. So let's see. So a rock or a stone or something on that pathway from the source to to having a form it's going to be very selfish. And on the way back from personality to the source, once you've found that kindness toward other people, then that's kind of the evolution, and it's going back toward the oneness. I had some stuff today I want to talk about with this. Okay, so someone was saying when something is created, say from the source, when something first comes out of the source, or when a soul is created, isn't it pure, or isn't it goodness? And my answer was that there's a degree of positive versus negative in everything that's created. And when a baby is, or a soul, if you believe in multiple incarnations, and if you believe there is a first time for a soul to be created, which I don't believe a soul was just created out of nothing. I believe that there's this being, and it's been around forever, and we all have the ability to create things, but that creation is based on the energy and the intention of the being that created it in that moment. And nothing is really created. The energy always exists somewhere. So when someone says that, well, this baby was created, in perfection, and it doesn't have any negative qualities to it when it's born, it's a blank slate. I don't necessarily agree with that. And even prior to that, if you believe there was a first lifetime for a soul, then to say that that soul is a blank slate or pure and good, you have to know that the energy is coming from somewhere. The soul is being created out of something, and whatever created that, the intention that created that energy form, for something to create something, it has to have a personality. It has to have an inspiration to have action. So that there's no being in creation that moves or that has an intention that is pure. There's no. The only purity in creation is the oneness. If you want to have something that doesn't have an agenda, the only thing that doesn't have an agenda is that which doesn't have personality, and the only thing with that quality is the state of oneness. So, anytime a being or a soul is created, then it's going to have positive qualities and negative qualities. And in the Law of One, they were talking about that the choice of being good, or there's kind of two ways to evolve. They were saying in the Law of One, and the easier way was to be 51% good, and by doing that, that's service to others. 51% of your life to be kind of service to others, and then you could be 49% service to self, selfish, and that would be labeled the selfish kind of stuff would be like the negative qualities, and the service to others would be the positive qualities. So, a soul that might be okay, and the other side of it would be if you want to evolve in a negative pathway, it's harder. You have to be 95% service to self, or negative, and or more. If you want to be even 99% selfish, and 1% service to others, you're going to evolve and you're going to go to the next understanding by doing it that way. But if you want to evolve on a negative pathway and you're only being 60% negative, you're not going to find you're not going to reach the experiences that you would if you were 95% negative. So if you're going to go the negative pathway, you really want to be on it. You want to be on that edge. And if you want to go the positive pathway, you only have to be on it for 51%, helping other people and service to others. So what I was describing with the involution is that the beings that are coming from the one, they're all service to self, pretty much. That's my because to leave the oneness and to achieve a form, that's got to be very selfish, and they haven't achieved self-awareness at that point. So the beings on that pathway are totally selfish, and that's maybe a reasoning or a rationale why the elements are very severe, and it's just when you use the nature energy, you're working with the elements, and you're working with the beings on the involution pathway, and then once the identity and the individuality and the awareness of the ability to think, and once that happens, when the self-awareness happens, then you have the opportunity to go on the back toward the one, or back toward the awareness of other stuff, and that's the evolution pathway, and then there's two kind of pathways on the evolution pathway: the service to self in the goodness way, or the negative way. So let me see. I have some notes here. I'm kind of reading from my notes. So each being can create. Each being is a source. And in a way, everything is and has been always. Nothing's new, but new things happen all the time. All right, so a couple people are in the chat. If you have anything to say, I can check out your comments here. And I'm also going to check the news and do some commentary in the news. Let's see. A little bit about myself. I'm 42 years old at this time in 2019, and when I was 19, I had my first out-of-body experience. And it was a sleep paralysis. And let's see. From there, within the next couple days, I learned about out-of-body experiences, and I did a lot of meditation, and within a year I had my first out-of-body experience. And I was able to go out-of-body hundreds of times over the next 4 years, and I wrote a book about it called The Golden One. And I started this channel just to, because I thought it would be good if there were a journal or an area where people of the out-of-body, people who are interested in out-of-body experiences could, put something forth that was of the quality that you would see in a journal of science or a journal of nature, like a journal of out-of-body experiences. So I started this forum to share what I'm passionate about, but also to see what other people are doing, and to me personally be able to go and read others' stuff in an organized way, in an organized area. So this is kind of one of my life passions, and I'm here tonight just to chat with you guys and see if there's anything you have to say about anything, and to share my perspective. So checking out the news. Let's see. Last week I did the news on Sunday night, so that's what I'm doing tonight. Let's see. Drones are pretty interesting. There's news about drones. Let's see. Chimps are going up ladders to escape a zoo. Escape the zoo. I'm trying to find something that would have a out-of-body perspective. So far, what I don't see in the news is that anyone is talking about their out-of-body experiences. I don't see that on the head page of the news. Okay. Lots of stuff about the earth, stuff about sexuality. Some people are saying negative things about the climate, and even about the economics. But I don't see anything here about like anyone having a sleep paralysis or having an awakening. So I guess talking about what's not here is another thing to focus on. I did on the astral projection Reddit forum. I read someone's interesting experience about going off the planet, and they went, I think it was 500 million years into the future or something. I've never really perfected any kind of like future travel. I've had a few experiences where I thought it might have been in the future or in the past, but that's something I haven't confirmed that someone can do that for myself yet. But it was interesting, There's a lot of interesting stuff on Reddit, and I want to read more about that stuff. Pretty interesting stuff. Personally, I was attending a class this week, and there was a lecture on something, and I didn't really agree with what the person was saying, and it seemed like there were if you have alpha people and you have beta people, I was writing that beta experiencers rely on a liberal philosophy to support their servitude lifestyle. Betas cause their own lifestyle. Betas philosophy necessitates its own heroic reasoning. So whatever lifestyle someone is causing for themselves, their philosophy necessitates its own so they're creating themselves as heroes in their own lifestyle that they're leading. So I was trying to find out reasons why beta people, like liberals, would believe in what they do, and wrap it into spirituality. What I think is that some of the people in the New Age kind of movement, they've awakened to the potential and to the possibility that there are other senses and things, but they're newbies, they're new, and therefore they're gullible and ignorant, quite ignorant. So I'm not sharing much new in this thing. I think the biggest thing was the evolution and the involution in relation to oneness and personality. I'm just going to check out some of the chats, see if anything's going on, and then I'm going to wrap this up in about 10 minutes. I was thinking about half hour tonight. It's 20 minutes in so far. And it's 8:35 on Sunday night, so I'm tired myself. It's been a long day. Let's see. Checking in on Discord. I don't see anything there. I will check in on the YouTube. I don't see anything in the chat. Any questions? Okay. I'm going to look around a little bit more. I'm just looking to see if anyone has any questions or wants to talk about anything. Let's see. What I can do is I can search for out of body on the internet and see what comes up, what topics. If you go to Wikipedia and you search for out of body, I added a section on there about the oneness and the one. So if you were to go to Wikipedia, and check out of body experience, there's a section there I added to it. And so just doing a little bit to add to the field for others. Let's see. Oh, on Reddit, on Discord, some of the people who have signed up on Discord, I have put them into categories. So like the level 1 experiencer, I made them red, and the level 2 experiencer, I made them yellow, and the level 3 experiencers, I made them green. So if you have any questions about that, just type it into the Discord, and I made it easier for people to find people with experience. The level 3s would be more experienced than the level 2s, and the 2s more experienced than the level 1s. So it makes it easier to ask for guidance or questions from people who are in the Discord chat. If you have any out-of-body experience questions, just type them into the chat here on YouTube. And, if it's a slow day, it's a slow day. Whatever. Let's see. I'm looking for stuff to talk about right now. Let's see. Well, personally, I thought the State of the Union was awesome. Trump has been I've been liking what he's doing. And that's probably going to turn off half the audience, but I like what he's doing. And let me see. Yep, so I don't have anything else to say. I'll be on again also next Friday, and also probably Sunday again next week. I've been doing Fridays and Sundays, and Fridays I've been doing a longer show, about an hour, starting around 8:30 in the evening, and to 9:30 Eastern time. And Sundays I've been doing anywhere from a half hour to an hour, starting around the same time. So on the Out-of-Body Journal chat on Discord, I reorganized where some of the discussions appear. So there's like new to the channel, there's first stage out-of-body experience. I organized the areas on there based on how often the different sections are used. I added some new binaural beats to the good binaural beats section. On YouTube, there's a link on the Discord area for the new binaural beats. And I'm looking for people who might want to add their own content to the chat on Discord. And then also there's the website on GitHub, where I've started the wiki journal for out-of-body experiences. And I didn't create any new graphics this week, but I'm planning to do some more of that. I guess I'll talk about what I'm planning to do with the out-of-body journal, and do some brainstorming also. The new to the channel has had a few comments, and that's a good spot to talk about your own experiences, and if you're new to out-of-body experiences. The first stage of out-of-body experience section on the Discord chat is for if you've had an out-of-body experience. So if you've had at least one out-of-body experience, and you're in the Discord, I'll be adding that as a tag to your profile. And second stage out-of-body experience, if you've been out of your house out-of-body, or if you've met other beings, non-humans, then you're in the second stage out-of-body experiencer category. And third stage of out-of-body experiencers is for people who've experienced a oneness, or who understand what that is. And there was a guy this week who said, named Derickos, or I don't know how he pronounces it, but Derickos says that he's experienced the oneness on several occasions, and he said only on LSD though. So if you have a memory of having, or if you were aware when you were experiencing the oneness, then you were there. I mean, you understand what the oneness, or the third stage of out-of-body experiences is, and that changes your whole life from that point on. I'm sure he would say, or she, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but Derickos would, they would say that their life has changed dramatically after that point of experiencing that third stage out of the oneness experience. So I would call that person Prince Derickos or Princess Derickos now, because they've experienced the oneness. That's why I use the word Prince in my name, because I experienced oneness in 2002, and also 2001, 2002, but the ultimate one in 2002. And the oneness, or the third stage of out-of-body experiences, is where all out-of-body experiencers are headed. That's where people of every nation, of every civilization, of every race in the universe is headed to the oneness. Because again, I made a little diagram here, but let me see if I can show it. The involution and the evolution, right? Those are the only two things going on in the universe. And let me see if that's good. The involution is going down, and the evolution is going back up. You got the oneness, the beings are coming out of oneness, and they're going through the involution process into physicality and into personality, and then evolution back to the oneness in a conscious. So involution is unconscious into personality, into selfishness, into form, into physicality. And then once they get to the ultimate, if you have a circle, if you're in the center of the circle, you're not aware of anything but yourself. But when you get to the outside of the circle, then you can get perspective on the whole circle. And that's the ultimate point of perspective, when you get to the outside of the circle, to the edge. When you reach the edge, you can sense and make sense of the whole circle, and then you get self-awareness. And from that point on, you can go back to the center, back to the source, back to awareness. You can go back to the center of the circle with awareness of the whole. That which is in the center of the circle, that which is in the source, is unaware, because it's never reached the outside of the circle. It's never had the self-identity or individuality or form. But once you've been to the outside of the circle, to the edge, you can gain the perspective, the individuality, and the self-awareness. And with that self-awareness, that identity, you can maintain consciousness back into the oneness and know it with awareness, with self-awareness. And that's the pathway of evolution. All right, that wraps it up. It's 31 minutes into the show, Sunday night. Wish you guys a good week. One of the big things for me over the last year was intention. So whatever I do, you can accomplish whatever you want to accomplish, but bring some intention into it, some reason for doing it, and that'll make it even better. All right, Paul Markos wrapping it up. Adios, good night.